Neil79 with the Survivalist Mindset, and today I got another new product in the mail. It's something I've been wanting to get for quite some time, and just by looking at me I bet you can guess what it is. It is a Mora Companion Knife. This is the carbon steel version. I've read a lot about them, watched a lot of videos on them, had one in mind for quite some time. I just hadn't gotten around to getting one, and here we go. Came in the mail. Let's go head into the table and sit down and see how she does. Alright guys, as you've seen before in my other videos, we've already talked about the Ka-Bar Fat Bob folder. I did a review video, unfortunately it was kind of grainy, didn't come out very good, of the Ontario Ranger Bush Series Afghan knife. And now that the Mora has come in the mail, I believe this will complete my trifecta. At least for now. This is always subject to change. When we go out on the camping trip and we dig into some of this stuff and see how well it works, you know, I may be persuaded one way or another to change. That is why the new Ka-Bar Fat Bob folder sits here instead of the Gerber Bear Grylls knife, because I tested that knife on several trips, realized it wasn't going to perform the way I wanted it to, and so I replaced it. The same goes for these. The Ranger Bush Series knife is a replacement for my BK2, which was lost, and I have never had a Mora knife. I found the need for one on a recent trip where my folder was too small and my main knife was too big, and I needed something small with a thin blade that was fine, that I could, you know, process small game and fish especially. You try to process a fish with a big thick knife, you're probably going to butcher it pretty good. So I found the need for a small, thin bladed, light knife, light in weight and also for light duty. And preferably I wanted something I could wear around my neck. And that is why I chose to go with this Mora knife. My first impressions of it, let's move this stuff out of the way. First impressions of this knife are that it feels really good in your hand. Now I did get the carbon steel version, made in Sweden Mora knife. I got the carbon steel version because I like the ability of a carbon bladed knife to strike sparks off of a ferrocium rod or a magnesium block in the event that you lost your striker or your other knife. Another thing that I will be doing, and I'll update you as I go along, is I'll probably be putting some Ranger bands around this sheath and carrying a small, maybe like a Light My Fire Scout type of a ferrocium rod with it, because I like the idea of having the ability to not only cut, process food, do camp chores, whatever, with every knife I have. I like the ability to start fire, which is very, very important with every knife that I have. So I think I'm going to have a ferrocium rod for each knife, with the exception of the pocket knife. And so that way, if one gets lost, I have not completely lost my ability to start fire and take care of whatever tasks need to be taken care of. But back to the knife, feels very, very good in your hand. I really like this handle. Fills the hand nicely. It's shaped well. The green plastic that you see is kind of a hard polymer. Think the handle of a Glock, something along those lines. And this middle portion is more rubberized, very similar to like a Hogue gun grip or something along those lines. Very rubberized, but not overdone. And it fills the hand nicely. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip. What else can I tell you about this? The blade is pretty thin. It appears to be razor sharp. I do have a piece of paper here that we can test that out, see how sharp it actually is. I have read, and although I just got this, I have no experience with this yet, but the carbon steel version of the Mora is apt and prone to developing rust if it's not kept oiled. Not a problem. In my cleaning kit for my AR-15, which is in my rucksack, I do have what Remington puts out, an oil wipe It's almost like a moist towelette, except it's got oil on it. Keep some of those with me, and I would suggest you do the same to wipe down all your knives after use. Last thing you need in a true survival type of a situation is for your stuff to rust up and fail on you. Anyhow, we'll move on to a piece of paper. See just how sharp it is out of the box. Razor sharp, guys. Absolutely razor sharp. No effort. This requires no effort at all to go through that paper. I couldn't be more pleased with how that turned out. Just as a comparison, I know in my first video I said that this Ontario knife did not come sharp. Not terribly sharp anyway out of the box. And it didn't. So I had to do a little work to it. You know, just to give you guys a quick update. Pretty sharp, very serviceable. I have ordered, rather not ordered, but contracted with a local leather maker, leather worker I should say, who I met at a gun show, to make me a better sheath for my Ontario knife. A leather sheath with a ferrocium rod holder. And as soon as that sheath is in my possession, I will do a video for you guys and update you on it, show you how it turned out. But anyway, as far as this Mora goes, I do believe that I believe I paid $13.99 for this knife. That for a $14 investment, I don't think you could do much better. $14 and you have a real quality blade, something that comes just crazy sharp. I don't think you'll have any problem at all filleting a fish or something along those lines. And I will definitely have it with me on the trip. We'll see how it works out, and we'll talk more about it later, I guess. Anyhow, this is Eneil79 with the Survivalist Mindset. I'd like to tell you all how much I appreciate your views and your support and your subscriptions. And just keep in mind that the only certainty in life is change. God bless you all.